Hello, this is Mike here to congratulate you on your Jayflight 324 BDS travel trailer. You guys picked a cool trailer here. I'm going to walk you around it and show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to take into consideration when you're parking this. On your campsite, leave plenty of room for that awning to come in and out. On your off campsite, you're going to have two slides you need to leave room for. I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Those are actually going to be in between your slides on your off campsite. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Get these slides open and you're on and out. Make sure you have enough room for all that. Once you get parked, first thing you do is level our unit. Night docking light should you arrive at night. Simply retract to bring this down, extend to raise it. Now should you lose power, underneath this rubber stopper right here, there's a nut there that your hand crank for your stabilizing jacks will get up and down. Speaking of power, check your battery post every now and then. Make sure those haven't wiggled loose over time. Fair warning, these rubber stoppers will get your hands dirty. Don't use them unless you have to. Once we've got our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. This hand crank or a drill gun will bring this down in a matter of seconds. What I want to show you is when you first take it down, all you really have to do is lift up on this, and this will drop all the way down for you. I'm going to recommend jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect these feet from dirt and debris and keep them from sinking into the hot blacktop in the summer. Get them down. Now, once that's down that far, just go ahead and ram this down with the hand crank the rest of the way. Only until you feel some pressure. Remember, our unit's already level. We're just trying to stabilize it. Get all four of them down on each corner of the unit. Now we can hook up our power and water. This power cord, you'll see the metal on it. It has to touch this metal. Grooves, we'll have to get through certain grooves. Hard to do here one-handed. Now at the other end of that power, should you ever need to plug into a 30 amp, which a lot of campsites are, and your convenience pack will be a 50 down to 30. And if you ever need to plug into a 110, a 30 down to 15 amp. Got your power hooked up, let's hook up your water. At campsites, we're going to hook up to city water connection. First and foremost, a water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in the unit. Always use this because you don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. Hook that up. Hook up your hose. Don't turn your hose on yet. Check your hot water heater. Just make sure your drain plug, your pressure release valve is closed. Then you can go ahead and turn that hose on. After that hose been on for a few minutes, we're going to go inside and open up our slides. Sinks, showers. So just come up your unit, up here to the left. It's going to be your slide out for the front here. Get that out of the way so we can get back to the bathroom. But we're going to get these slides open. We're going to open up our sinks, our showers. Get a nice steady flow of water going through them. Then we can go ahead and shut them off and you're all set to camp at a campsite. Don't need to open the bunk one yet, but we will anyway. I want you to hear when it's all the way open. That is the slide mechanism saying I'm all the way out. Get your hand off the button. Out here as well, just hit out. See the bottom dig. Same thing coming back in, the bottom will come up first. This is where the mechanism is. So again, we're opening up these slides. Get in here, open up our sinks and our showers. Get a nice steady flow of water going through everything. And then you are all set to camp. So now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to use city water. We're going to go dry camping. We're not going to a campsite, we're going out boondocking. In that case, on our campsite, just outside where the door is your potable tank. Now, no need for a water pressure regulator here. You can simply gravity fill this with a hose. Two ways to tell when it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right here. or 2 on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Once this is full, go ahead, don't leave it unattended while you're filling it either, but once it's full, go ahead and put that cap back on, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump indoors. Don't turn on your water pump and hook up to city water. That is already pressurized. All right, I'm gonna walk you around the rest of the unit. I'm gonna start here at the doorway and work around. Got a couple of outdoor speakers here. Sorry about the sunshine. We've got a nice vent for your hood range. You've got a TV mount underneath your bed that you can mount on TV that will click right onto this puck here. Out here you can plug in the cable for it, and 110. Again, freshwater tank, which means this is probably going to be your freshwater drain. Right there, the big white handle. And then, which is going to be the low point drain on this side. Is going to be freshwater, low point drain on this side is going to be those two for your other water through the unit. Nice separate entryway to your bedroom. That holds up on magnets. Lighting for out here. Here's your quick connect propane hose that connects right down here in this corner. You can order a J port for this one. It's a big metal arm that slides in there with a big metal table. Then you can just set a griddle on here. Easy access to that. Spray port. There's a little spray hose that you can hook up to that. Cover for your spare tire. Keep that on there. That's going to keep that from dry rotting over time. Up top you have prepped for a backup camera. Device you can purchase from our store. One part sets on the dash of your tow vehicle. The other part connects to this, giving you a backup camera for the unit. You have a ladder. Utilize it. Go up there 2-3 times a year. Check the seams of your roof and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. Maintaining that roof is very important on your unit. Even on your slides, maintain these wiper seals. They've got a spray you can spray on them. It's going to keep them nice and pliable like they are now. Here's where you plug in your cable at the campsites. Back here's our hot water heater. That can be left on at all times. Just make sure that your pressure release valve is down. Tank flush, we'll talk about that when we dump our black and gray tanks. Again, our shower, city water connection, a flue for your furnace. 3 things on that. 1, steer clear of it when you're running it gets hot. 2, don't put nothing in front of it to block it. And 3, we sell bug guards for those. Good little investment. Got your black tank dump here. Gray water holding tank. Easier access to that when our slide is closed. Pass-through storage over here. Coming up front, your propane does have a cover. It's on a regulator. Just point it toward the tank you wish to be using, lefty-loosey to open. I like to go 1 tank at a time, that way I know how much I've got left in it. Again, your power tongue jack. And that about covers everything out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. Couple things on these steps, but most importantly, bringing them up or down. Make sure this exterior door is all the way open. Otherwise, this will catch on it. I'll show you when we're closing it. They're also adjustable. Got a couple cotter pins to pull there to move your feet. Coming up the unit, first thing I always like to point out is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of emergency. To the right of that is your 12-volt carbon monoxide propane detector. That is always running off your batteries. Keep that in mind. Coming up top here is our interior and exterior lighting. Here's where we check our tanks. There's the level of the battery. It's getting low. One is plugged in out there right now. Freshwater, black and gray tank. That freshwater is the one that you Keep pressed in when you're filling up your potable water. That way you can see when that's full. Here's where you turn on the water pump to utilize that water. Awning. Tight quarters here right now, but I'm going to tell you on your awning, when you run this out, you only want to run it out until you see a flap fall down to 90 degrees and you'll start to see the bar underneath. If you hold out while it's at that point, it will flip itself up onto itself and start to run itself up backwards. So keep an eye on that when you run it out, and only run it out as far as you need to. Really, they're great for shade. Highly recommended to bring in any heavy rain or wind. Them tucked in. I will tell you that slam locks like these work best when gently slammed. All right, coming up into the unit, power, charging ports, cutting board above our sink, self-explanatory microwave. Here's your light and fan for that. Your oven, lighting's here, up for your panel light, down for your oven light. This glass top makes a nice backsplash. You turn this to light, hit your spark. When your gas is on, that'll light up. All three like that. Oven, turn it to light, hit your spark, and it should light your pilot down there. Once you see your pilot lit, turn that to whatever temperature you want. Furion fridge, all the controls are inside for these. I think they're both fridge and freezer below. Right there's the controls for that. Coming in the hallway here, we've got a thermostat that has 3 spots you can go to. That is a high fan, the AC, or the furnace. It's really that simple. And then the last one is off. Oh, and the furnace is kicked on. So I shut that off. It's a good time to tell you that the AC, when you turn that on, it shuts off rather quickly. The furnace, when you shut that off, it does take a couple of minutes for the fan to cycle through on that return down there before it shuts off. You'll hear that. Again, our slide control. Finishing up the living room. Remove those legs. Put your tabletop on these rubber stoppers. Flat cushions on top. Now the sleeping quarters. Over here, we have the trifold sofa. Show you how to turn that into a bed. So if you remove your back cushions, you just throw it on there. Gonna lift up on the front. I find standing in the middle gives you good leverage to bring both of these legs out, and then just lay it down. Bring the back down, and like that, you get another place to sleep. Now the most important thing is when you put this away, you gotta lift this back up first. Otherwise you're really gonna damage that. Always lift the back up first. Again, standing in the middle gives you good leverage. There's one person to fold them under like fingers. Or cushions back, just that quickly. We are back to the sofa. Entertainment center. Backer for a TV here. In here, where your cable for your TV will plug in, make sure this green light is on. That's your antenna. Speaking of antennas, let's see if I can get on the radio station here. There we go. So, indoor and outdoor. AM, FM, Bluetooth, auxiliary, charging ports. Nice system. Touch it once to mute it. Get back off the phone. Shut that off. Smoke alarm. I'm back in the bedroom. Your prep for TV here is a backer. There's your cable 110 for that. All one touch lighting up in here. So Go Power solar controller. I will send you a separate video from them. When your battery's all hooked up on this, your only purpose in this is to make sure that you have it on the correct battery. I'll send you a separate video from GoPower on the 30 amp solar controller. Whole purpose of this is to keep your solar panels from overcharging your batteries. Storage up underneath your bed. There's your spray port hose and TV mount that I was talking about. All this lighting in here is one touch, which brings me to our lighting. I do want to mention lastly in the bedroom here, snapping close these doors. Make sure that these are snap closed for travel. Again, our lighting, a lot of it is going to be one touch, so when we close this up, you'll see that. Coming back into your bathroom, you've got 110 with GFCI reset. Plumbing. Didn't mention much in the kitchen, but maintain your plumbing. If you travel a lot in this, just check on things. If you're bouncing this up and down the road, some things could wiggle loose. So bathroom, kitchen, same thing. Hand open, exhaust vent here. Lighting here. Here's where you turn on your Suburban hot water heater. Out of the bathroom into our bunk area. Main thing back here is this top bunk. I don't find it, even with two of these on them sometimes, I don't find it safe for this to travel up top. So bring that bunk area down. Travel with that much safer down there than to count on this for holding your bumps down the road. Again, another table that'll come out and lay down and turn into a bed. Or again, lift that up, you got a nice card table. Prep for gaming in here, you got your backer for a TV. There's cable in 110. There's a slot for your gaming console. Great, easy storage for kids. Handle to get up on top bunk now. And charging port back there. One more door you want to make sure stays snapped open for traveling. Speaking of traveling, it's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. I like to start, again, talk about lighting. Come in here and just shut off my lights. Now I see all the other lighting I need to walk through and shut off by hand. Which is cool because you can leave like one of these on as a night light in your unit. Same thing back here in the bunk area. They can take and just leave one light on for a nice night light. All the lights are off. Oh, we got a couple in the bedroom. So what this does is it reminds you to make sure all the lights are off for traveling. You want to look back in your unit and see your bedroom all lit up as you're traveling down the road. Alright, we got all them lights off. Now come back to our control panel, which we can shut off on our way out and turn on our interior lights. Now I say doors and drawers. Walk through the unit, make sure all the doors are closed like I just said. Make sure all the drawers are closed like I just said. Especially like back here in this bunk area. We really need to have this door closed. That's like that, and this bunk catches it on the way in. Not going to be a pretty sight to clean up. Went through, got our doors and drawers closed. All the hatches are battened down. We're going to bring slide in for this rear one. As that one comes in. Checking my doors. Slide in. Again, just like going out, the bottom moves first. Shut off our interior lighting and exit the unit. Now again, as I mentioned earlier, we really need to get this door all the way open, so that when we lift these steps, see how close this piece comes to it. Get in there and lock that. Now before I leave the dump station, I say that because you're going to go back inside and check your levels of your tanks as you're dumping. We're going to lock, deadbolt, lift and turn that handle. That's how you want that to travel. Make sure you bring up those rear steps and lock up your outdoor griddle. If we are out dry camping, we're going to come over here underneath our potable water, reach up underneath there and pull that fresh water drain. Bring up our stabilizing jacks, hook up our hitch and head on home or the nearest dump station, whatever we're in need of. If we are at a campsite, we're going to unhook our power, our water, our cable, bring up our stabilizing jacks and head on up to the dump station. Now at the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump is going to be right behind your tires on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. Once you arrive, get 10-foot hose, hook that up, and pull that black handle. That's going to be your sewage. It sounds like that's no longer draining. Go inside, check the levels of your black tank. If it shows empty or close to it, come back out here, leave that black handle open, grab the hose at the dump station, and hook up to this tank flush. Let that run for a good 5 minutes. That's going to wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. Let it run, let it run. When that's done, remove your hose first, then make sure all that washout you just put in there has drained. Then you close that black handle, come behind your tires here, and pull your gray handle. And that's going to be cleaner water. Your sinks and your showers. That's going to clean your sewage house out pretty good for you. So when that's done, you take that sewage hose and conveniently and sanitarily store it right here in your bumper and head on home. Again, we thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Jayflight for many years to come. Happy camping.